What is going on, guys? Today we're trying another experiment because I'm an experimenter. Got a new device, got a new location, and we got a new format. 60 frames. Never shot at 60 frames before. But topic of today's video, I think, is going to be the hurdles to consistency. And there's a reason why I picked this topic, because a lot of people, especially since I've been on the consistency train last couple days, talking about a lot, going through some stuff, I noticed that a lot of people have a lot of objections to it, and they're not necessarily external. They're more internal objections. They're the questions that they ask, the things that they tell me. I could tell that maybe they don't quite get it, how I mean it, and maybe there's some things that I should kind of address. So I've had people tell me, and this has happened multiple times now, yeah, Tim, this is easy for you because blank. Because I've known marketing, because I've been doing development longer than they have, whatever the reason. This is a common thing, and it happens not just in my videos, right? This happens in life all the time. There's so many people that just say, yeah, if I was that guy, I could do what that guy did. Yeah, if I had what that guy has, I could do that too. And they completely discount the amount of work that that person has taken to get there. And what they don't realize when they say that is, like, if you look at a football player, you say, well, that guy's good at football. If I was him, I could do that too. If I had those muscles, if I had, whatever. But that guy spent all that time to build those muscles. He spent all that time to build that skill. He spent all that time to get there. And even if there is luck involved, let me tell you a secret about luck. Luck happens to people that are consistent with their work, right? Like, if you look at some of the top, like Angry Birds made 30 some games. Rovio made 30 some games before they made Angry Birds. Like, luck happens to people that are consistent, that they keep doing things, right? Even Super Meat Boy. Super Meat Boy was not the first game Edmund had made. He'd been out there on forums doing it, working out loud, doing that over and over and over and over and over again. And I just want to say, like, if you say that, yeah, that person can do it, I could do it too if I had blank, you are summing up your progress to a lack of resources. And if you think a lack of resources is holding you back, you're making a big mistake from the get-go. Because it's not about resources, it's about resourcefulness. That's what Tony Robbins would say. And I would agree with him, because resourcefulness is how you learn to work with your constraints, figure out the things you need to do, get places, go places, make shit happen, be the person that you want to be. And if you constantly say, I don't have X, so I can't do Y, you're not going to get anywhere. You got to learn to work with what you got, build the things that you need to get. If you need money, if you need time, figure out ways how to get those things, right? Like, if you need more time to work on your game, figure out how you can get an hour extra day. What can you cut out of your routine? What can you do this? What can you do that? Like, you gotta think about it. You gotta be dedicated to it. So it's getting a little windy. Second thing that comes up a lot, and this came up in the comments, this came up in emails, this came up in a couple places, and that's people saying, Tim, and I don't know why this is a thing, but they say, Tim, you post a video every day, but that's not easy for people to do for longer forms of content. That's not easy. It's sustainable when you're sitting in front of a camera. It's easy to do every day. And then other people brought up the fact that, like, I know what to do because I'm a marketing guy, so they're consistent. I'm being consistent on the things that I know will work. Whereas if a normal person were to try and be consistent, they might be consistent on the wrong things. And what I would say to both of those points, because I think they're kind of combined at their core, is that no, first of all, no, I didn't know what was going to work. Okay. Game Dev Underground has existed since 2013. I've tried everything from running Facebook ads to literally giving away $100 as a competition for who could give out the most invites the fastest. Back when it was invite only, to which didn't make sense at all because like it was invite only, but I was giving out money to invite people. Why didn't I just make it free? I tried that. I tried blogging for months, didn't work. I tried YouTube for months, still wasn't getting anywhere. So consistency, and I want to point this out. Consistency does not mean you do the same thing every day. Okay. If the same thing that you do every day is working, yes, then do the same thing every day. But consistency means working on the same goal every day. Okay? There's a distinction there. Because if what you're doing over a long period of time doesn't make a difference, consistency is the thing that helps you learn why. Right? So, and this is tricky because a lot of people they don't give the time needed to certain things. The blog is something that I tried for months and months and months, and it was the month 4, I think it was, where I was just like, I'm not really getting any traction. And that's also when I learned that I could do YouTube. I could talk about the same topic in the same amount of time. I could get the same point across in 10 minutes of talking in a video than I could in 2 hours of writing a blog post. So that's the main reason why I switched to YouTube. It wasn't so much that I thought it was going to be this thing that's going to work and it's going to grow and do all that. I just thought it would be simpler for me to do. This whole learning experience of Game Dev Underground has been me adapting what I'm doing to figure out how I can get this to work. And so when you think like, oh, someone else knows better, consistency, they know what to do, being consistent, but I don't know what to do. It's really simple. You try something. You try it, you see if it doesn't work. You gotta, and you can't think about this whole, you can't get stuck in this trap of efficiency. Like I remember so long, and I still can't believe this. I used to think that I had to be efficient with my life. So like, I'd be driving down the freeway. I'd be like, I know I got to get an exit in like 10 miles, right? And so I'd stay in like the right lane because I know I'm going to have to get off on the exit in the right lane. So I'd stay there. I'd stay in the lane for 10 miles, even when it was slower, even when I could get around and go past people and do stuff. I would stay in the lane because it was more efficient. It was a more efficient use of my time and my effort to stay in that lane. And it may be efficient, but what I learned is that it's not effective. Okay? There's a difference between efficiency and effectiveness, and this is probably a whole nother topic for the day, but if you're trying to be efficient with your consistency, you're trying to think, well, I want to figure out the perfect thing to do before I do it. That doesn't make any sense because the way that you figure out the perfect thing is by being consistent and working toward the same goal for a long time and trying a bunch of different shit. So I just want to say that if you're one of those people that is like out there waiting for the moment to start because you're looking for the right thing, it's never going to come along. You got to try a bunch of stuff that doesn't work to figure out what does, which is exactly what I did. Like in my YouTube video, I only talked about the last 180 days of consistency, but I didn't talk about the 3-4 years of trying stuff. The Facebook ads, the original launch, the emails that I was sending out at random ass times. The people that have been here with me for years know this. They saw this. They witnessed all this. I didn't talk about the blog post. I didn't talk about practically, spamming indie game developers groups with the stuff, trying to help out people and show them and say, hey, hope this helps. So it's not about just being a smart dude and knowing exactly what to do. I didn't. This is just the result of me trying a bunch of stuff and seeing what works, and YouTube happened to work, being consistent at it. But it took being consistent at it to work. And so last point that I want to make on this real quick is some people think that like a video a day on YouTube, for example, they say it works really well for sitting in front of a camera, but not for people that have longer forms or bigger stuff or stuff that takes weeks to build. And I would just say that, like, with consistency, of course, YouTube specifically, it promotes daily videos. This algorithm obviously is geared toward that. But it doesn't mean that you have to post every day. I would say consistency is working on your craft every day. Doesn't necessarily mean pushing out in public. And YouTube, just like with anything else, I think you could do weekly just as well as daily. Daily is going to be way faster. It's going to help you accelerate faster. You're going to catch on to the algorithm quicker. You're going to do stuff. Same thing with blog posts. I'm sure if I would have tried blog posts daily, I would have got more results than I got with weekly. But, so it's not about, like, you know, I'm not saying that you should post everywhere every day. I'm not saying that's the ultimate thing. I'm just saying work towards your goal every day. Like, work on it, move it forward, try and do something. Like, if you can't post on YouTube every day, maybe your videos take 2 weeks for you to make. That's cool, but work on them every day and push them out every 2 weeks and stay consistent on that. Keep doing that. Keep going. That's my message for today. I know there are a lot of excuses which are holding people back, but also there's like this unintentional barrier, like this mental block that I see a lot of people have, and they're worried because they want to do the right thing, but sometimes they're paralyzed by the decision on what to do, so they just sit there and do nothing. And I made a whole video on indecision. You can check it out. But don't be indecisive, just be consistent. And again, to summarize, being consistent does not mean that you have to do the same thing every day. You can evolve what you do over time because you're going to learn stuff. You're going to try stuff. But you got to try a bunch of stuff to see what works. Okay? That's my message for today. I hope you guys found it useful. If you did, please leave me a comment below. I would love to hear from you. If you have anything else that you'd like to be addressed on this subject, please leave it in the comment below or a question form. I would love to answer it. But until next time, I'm Tim Ruswick, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.